Hey Sociology 2P11 students, my name is Ian Gordon. I'm from the Brock Library, and this term I'm the Sociology Librarian. I'm filling in for Sociology Librarian Laurie Morrison, who is on sabbatical or leave, but returns to Brock University Library in January 2021. But I'm here for you. If you have any questions, need help, or you want to explore further any ideas I'm going to share with you. This PowerPoint presentation has been archived, and this video has been archived, so you can go back and through it at any particular time. At any time, ask if you think you need assistance. Things this presentation and slide your students will help you with. You'll learn more about what peer review means and why it's important. It's really important for this assignment. Identify key research resources and library services. Resources meaning databases, and services like interlibrary loan and picking up things and asking for things to be scanned. Be more knowledgeable about Brock Library databases, the ones that you should specifically use for this assignment. Find, cite, and track scholarly peer-reviewed research, so you need to archive, download, cite, and create a group report. These resources will help you to do that. And know where and why to get help. That's really important. Even if you think you know something, we can help. Here's our homepage in the library, and things have changed this term. As you know, most of us, including myself, are working from off campus. So check with the Brock Library every once in a while to catch up with what's new, because it's changing all the time. New to Brock Library, discover your library. We're now starting to loan out books to undergraduates, but it only works if you're in the Niagara area. You can scan, the library can scan certain chapters or edited papers and print resources we have. That's only just started. Again, if you're outside the Niagara area, that works well. But if you can identify something that you want, always ask. And interlibrary loans is a service that we use, meaning we will get things for you that we do not own. All you need to know is to identify what it is you're looking for. We find it, get it, usually digitize it, then email it back to you within 3 to 5 working days. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'll constantly check with what's new in the library. Ask Chat is something you've maybe not used before, but it's everywhere in all our pages, including my Sociology Lib reference guide. If you click on this, it tells you that at any time, here's the times that are listed here, you can work and chat with a librarian. And I've given you an example. I chatted with a librarian service just today. I asked, I'm looking for a good textbook ebook, because I don't have access to the course book. Can you suggest an alternate ebook I can use? And here's your textbook. I just wanted to test the service. And they got back to me and they suggested alternate things. It's quick and dirty. Something's not working. How do I cite this? This isn't working properly, or how do I get access to these sorts of things? Or interlibrary loan isn't working. Or if the chat is not working, it's meaning you're after or before hours, you can always email this email address, libhelp@brocku.ca. Someone get back to you within 24 hours, usually the same day. Back to our homepage, there's a number of things that you can look up as well. One of the things is our research guides. Click on this, and then our research guides are sorted by faculty and department. You've probably used this before for other assignments. And on this is the sociology guide that I use. I'm going to use that as a template or jumping point to show you how to look for scholarly peer-reviewed research and other resources that are embedded in our library as well. So let's jump. The sociology guide. There's lots of things that are here. Again, most importantly, if you click on the email me, or you have my email address, email me at any time. Put in the subject line sociology and see what can happen. I usually read my email every day, all day. Book a consultation is a really neat service. So if you click on that, it brings up my calendar and my availability, match with what you need. You need 24-hour notice. And you click on it, it asks you, hey, what do you want to meet with me for? And you can say, just to go over something or try something, or I need to get started with something, or help to learn something more about this. I can help you with those sorts of things, but you have me for a whole hour. So book a consultation, email, or 2 services that you can use at any particular hour. Here's the book tabs that's listed here. But more importantly, there's a number of databases for books. Omni is the database we search. Maybe you've searched it as well. Google Books is excellent because it finds parts of books either we have in print format that are in electronic or digital format, or finds access to parts of books that you may want to use as well. WorldCat answers the question, what books are available on my topic irrespective of where they are around the world, so that I'm knowledgeable of what my universe is on books, ebooks, and edited books as well. This is really an amazing tool. You won't need it for this assignment, but it's a great tool to know about. But if you click on here, there's OERs, Open Educational Resources. They're increasingly, even this past year, of resources that help you to do your research. They don't replace textbooks. They don't replace private or copyrighted or we paid for materials that the library subscribes to and puts in our Omni database. But they're excellent resources. Let me give you an example. I searched Mason, Oasis, Merlot, and OER Commons, which are databases you can search, and found a number of resources. Here's one, Introduction to Sociology textbook. There's lots of these there, which gives you not only books, but chapters of books. You can look up certain topics. Great resource. Here's another thing. What does it take to write a smart sociology research paper? Looked interesting. You may want to research it and find it yourself, look at it, and use it. Here's Humboldt State University puts a public sociology blog for graduate students dealing with this particular subject. And here's a few chapters, excellent resources on case studies, mapping, content analysis, ethnography. Again, tools that are open, meaning they're freely available, but using these metadata open education resource search engines, you can put in terms or search strategies to help you find other things like this. Let's get back to work. Books and ebooks. So Omni is our database of choice to find books in our library. Print books, which you can now get access if you live in the Niagara area, but ebooks you can use 24/7. Anytime. Here's some books I found. Sometimes we have books that are dealing with research design. Creswell is everywhere. So these are books that I found. I put this up to say that we have sociology is everywhere. Social science involves many different things, qualitative, quantitative, methodologies, types of designs. So there's lots of things that you can search as well. If you ever find a text or textbook or resource that you would like to use that we do not own, email me. I'd like to get it for us and put it in the library so that you and others can maybe use it as well. Lots of tools that you can use. So don't rule out using these tools for research designs or just general awareness. They're excellent tools. News articles. Now, again, this assignment not about news articles, but there's a number of databases you can search for news. They're used because in sociology, I'm finding that news helps to supplement or complement journal articles. It gives quotes, presents data, and it gives a voice to things that are really pressing or important. Lots happening in the news as well. So there's many databases that you can use. I did the database search and found 3 articles. Here's one from the Winnipeg Free Press. Again, we tend to pay for these things for you, so never pay for a news article. Ask for it through interlibrary loans or ask how can I get access to it. Here's the New York Times photo essay. It was really powerful. A current photo essay on protesters' march. The last one I found out, the Washington Post had a protesting police brutality and racism as essential work commentary or viewpoint article, which was interesting, and I included it in research I was doing for another paper as well. So news isn't what you're doing, but it's an important concept in social sciences. Background information. Sometimes you need to define your terms as a group. You need to see where the etiology of where these words appear, these phrases, or a handbook or review essay on a particular topic, especially from a scholarly. We have a number of scholarly databases that you can use, and you can search them one at a time. We actually have a list of encyclopedias that are electronic that are under this tab as well. We have a number of dictionaries that are quite important and new. I tend to try to collect them all. And we have a number of handbooks, lots of handbooks that give you excellent review articles on any particular topic. Again, no substitute for scholarly peer-reviewed articles, but they're essential tools in the social sciences, especially when you're doing research. Here's an entry I did for our Oxford Reference Database. I put in the word marginalization. I looked from a social science perspective. I found 34 entries, and I thought this one was actually good. So I brought it up, copied and pasted it, put it into my essay, or cited it and put it into Zotero. I can cite it, I can download it, I can print it, do whatever I want. But it was an excellent tool that provided a self-citation as well. Hopefully you understand how getting these reference tools to work actually works quite well. Also from a perspective book, Oxford Handbooks Online is a great tool. I put the word power in. I needed from a sociological perspective to find what power meant. And here's a review essay, many pages long, different chapters, talks about many different things. You can download, put it in a PDF or cite and use as well. Power and domination was a chapter. Again, doesn't speak my language as a geologist by training, but I can understand the power using something like this. And citing it. Don't be caught plagiarizing. probably the worst thing you can do in sociology. But you could paraphrase, cite, or direct quotes from this and cite it as well. Statistics and data are a really neat thing. I won't go over this, but there's a whole page dedicated to statistics and data, useful links, usually from a Canadian perspective, but at the bottom of this page, there's a guide for data and statistics. It helps you to visualize data, finding data. Oh, geez, is there any statistics on this? What does the government or internationally say about this? They can help you. And most importantly, Heather, who's mentioned here, and Sharon, who helps visualize or map data or something like that. You need to make an appointment with these people if you're dealing with data at any particular time for two reasons. One, to produce a data management plan. If you're a scholarly researcher, you have to have a plan of what data you have, where you put it, how do you archive it, and how do you keep it, especially since you're dealing probably with ethics reviews. You'll be asked, what is your data management plan? These people can help you not only to find, but to use these tools as well. Heather and Sharon are excellent people to deal with. Writing and citing is one of the important tabs. As you can see here, there's a number of tools that are listed here. Citation tools, the ASA tools. Why they don't put the ASA Sociology Guide in electronic format, I don't know why. But here it is, it's on reserve in the library, which doesn't help too many people. So there's guides that people put together that I found best. This one is usually the best. Citation management systems. I'll show you what that means, but you really should be in second or third degree thinking and using a citation management system like Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote. A full list of them is recorded here, and I tend to show and promote Zotero. At the bottom of this page, there's a number of tools that can help you to be a better writer, a better researcher. And I put current books electronically digital to resources that can help you, like writing and sociology, making sense. You can say, why do I have to consult these? Well, they just help you to be a better writer and think, act, do research, and know what the norms or standards are in sociology for writing. They're excellent tools, usually in digital format. Well worth the visit. The answer to my question is how do you know whether this is a peer-reviewed scholarly paper? You can cite it as I've done that, and you can read it, but you need to discern this. Now, there are tools in the library. All the databases have self-citing tools that help you discern whether a journal is peer-reviewed, but it doesn't tell you whether an article is peer-reviewed. So you have to learn what these skills are yourself. I always say if it smells, looks, and tastes peer-reviewed, it probably is. So there's telltale signs, and there's guides that we can help you to know how to do this. But it's a tool and a skill that you need to develop yourself. Is this peer-reviewed? Well, I figured out that it wasn't, but you may think it is. So when you're pulling your scholarly peer-reviewed articles together, you have to use this filter or your own knowledge to discern whether it is scholarly peer-reviewed or not. There's a number of tools you can use. These are clickable links that take you to a tutorial and video. Check them out. They'll answer questions but give you a perspective on why this is important, because it's the industry standard in sociology, and how to ensure that things are peer-reviewed. But at any time you come across an article and you go, is this peer-reviewed or not? It doesn't say, it doesn't write on it that it's peer-reviewed. I'm not quite sure. Work with your faculty member, your teaching assistant, or just email the library, or do a chat and say, is this peer-reviewed? Someone will come back and tell you, probably 9 times out of 10, and affirm whether you're right or you're wrong. So here we go. Back to where we should be. Sociology journal articles. Again, this is what you need to do. As you can see, there's a number of databases you can search. And there's 25 listed on the Brock Sociology Databases Guide. Some deal with politics, some deal with the law, criminality. Some are specific to a specific program. Some are general, some are wide, some are deep. And again, it wouldn't be nice if there was one search engine that worked for everything. We're getting there, but not there yet. These are the databases that we have in the library that you need to move through the proxy access and use so that you can actually click on links and download articles. Google Scholar is something I'm not going to talk about, but it's a tool that people use. How and where and why it works, it's unsure, but it allows you to put in keywords that you can find articles for that are in our library as well. Each one of these databases provides unique content that isn't in any other database. That's true. Some articles are in all these databases because they're core sociology articles. So how do you approach one of these, and then how do you use it so that when you're finished, you have a sense that I think I've got everything I need, I can move on to another database, or I think that I'm expert at finding things. Well, they change all the time, so ask if you think you need assistance. But for this assignment, I'm thinking that ProQuest Sociology Collection is a good source, and I'll show you how that works. Omni is a database. It's on our front search engine, and it's our meta search engine. Provides a lot of content outside sociology and inside sociology that you can use. And Web of Science Core Collection is another database you should use. Now, it's Web of Social Science as well as Science. It's a bad title for the database, but it's equally important. It pulls together core journals and all their papers in specific sociology or social science journals. So it'll be a better search. Which databases include core journals? Well, you'll discern that. Which limit language, which have a peer-reviewed materials filter, and which ones you can sort records by date. Can I limit by keywords and titles, subjects, or abstracts? We'll show you how that actually works. Remember the search logic. You want to or synonyms together. It's like teenager or adolescent or high school student. Different words for the same concept. The English language isn't perfect, but it's all we've got. So sometimes some concepts you want to look at, like racism, have more than one words that describe meaning to you. And so you want to include those in search to get as many records as you want. Select records and put them in folders for emailing, downloading, and citing. Every database does this a bit differently. You can export citations to a records management system like Zotero. You really got to figure this out. You can track cited references, meaning who has cited a particular article since it was published. I'm going to show you how to use Web of Science database to do this, but some other databases do it as well. But always ask for help if you can't figure it out. Once you understand how these databases work, you'll be a better searcher, spend less time, and get better results as well. So let's go to Web of Science first. Here's an article I found. Is this peer-reviewed or not? How do I know? Again, a question you need to ask yourself and develop that skill. Here's the terms that I use. I looked at this article, so here's my subject. I looked at different concepts. I'm looking for things dealing with rugby, sports, so synonyms I could order together: athletics, recreation, athletes. My population is females, and so words that describe female is woman, woman, girl, and that shift 8 after girl picks up words with that root: girls, or hyphenated words, gender, asexuality. I've put these down, and you'll add to these terms as you move through, or you'll change them, but this is my starting point. My social concept is media, perception, or any word with that root. In other words, you can search for sociological or social, any words with those roots, but it's kind of a redundant word because it's such a pervasive term. I'm specifically looking for qualitative studies, but I picked up these other words that I found in my short search of just kind of looking for things. If I wanted to limit my results any further, I'm looking for things from a geographic place, Canada, or Canadian, or Canada, Ontario, Toronto, or maybe Olympics. I figured out after doing some quick searching, I want to find things that are in the English language, that are scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Do I want to include news? Not really, but I didn't rule it out. But I'm thinking about 2008 to the present is my research area. Anything previous to that may be relevant, but that's where my ballpark is as well. So after doing my searches, I found Omni worked, Google Scholar worked, ProQuest Sociology, Web of Science, and other databases that have Canadian content as well. So I kind of got a plan to go ahead. Here's a Web of Science database. So I did this systematically. This is the end of my search. So I looked for the words rugby or sport or sports, words without roots, shift 8, athletic, meaning or synonyms. And I found 100,000 articles. Then I put in the terms female or woman or girls, truncating that. And I put those two together, and between those two concepts, I found hundreds of thousands of articles. So since I'm only looking for a few articles, I said, let's look for articles not only in the citation, the keywords, the author's keywords, the database's keywords, and abstracts. Let's look for the words in the title of the document itself. Now, I'm ruling out missing articles that don't have these words in the title, but are about these subjects. That happens few and far between. I still got too many. I got hundreds or thousands of articles. So I put in anywhere in the topic, and Web of Science is their way of saying anywhere in the record, the short record, any one of these words, apologetic or behavior spelled differently. And I still found hundreds of articles. So I browsed through those and found 2 or 3 articles that were highly cited or that were current, that looked interesting, put them into a folder. But then I said, how many of these articles, when they were in the abstract or anywhere in the article, short of looking at the full article, have the word qualitative as a research methodology? And I found a number of records. When I went through them, I searched and cited, since these are all scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles, I limited my search just to article. That was only the refinement that I needed to do. And I found 91 results, and they're listed here. So I can search within these. I can click off ones that I like and put them into a marked list. And until I leave, I can build a folder that I can download, email, or send to a citation management system. But you browse. Serendipity is still a research methodology. You may find this article and go, oh, never thought of that. You can find this article. Yes, I'll try it. So you err on finding of these 91 articles. I maybe found 20 that were interesting, marked them and put them to one side. But anytime you come to an article, look at the citation, the title, where it's from, look at the abstract, and then discern whether it's relevant or not. The digital object identifier is what I use to put things in Zotero, but I can show you how to do that. But the fascinating thing about this database, and not other databases do this well, but for this article, published in 2015, in this database, it has 69 references, meaning it has a citation list of 69 citations, quite a lot. But 25 researchers in separate articles have cited this article to the present. And that's a way of tracking the literature. Who is citing and referring to this research, probably commenting on similar terms and concepts as well. So always find a good article, put it in Web of Science, find the article, and see how many times it's been cited in the literature since it was published. Here's the article. Here's the references at the end of the article. They actually put into the databases. But here's that list of citations that have been cited since. And it tells you how many times they've been cited, but you can pick those up as well. And I've included those in my list of references to consult when I do my final bibliography. So there we go. We did Web of Science. I want to do ProQuest Sociology collection first, but remember our limiters. Every database has its nuances, but you should look for English language, peer-reviewed scholarly articles. Not too many that you waste your time, but not too few that you miss things of peripheral interest. So let's go to ProQuest Sociology. Here's the database, same search engine. It's asking you or inviting you to put groups of concepts together, ORing synonyms, then ANDing concepts together. But the neat thing about this database is there's a change databases that's listed here. For databases that have the same search vendor, same search engine formatting, you can add different databases and search them concurrently. So I'm going to search concurrently CBCA, Business Education. And for sociology, I'm finding Politics Collection Family Database is actually kind of neat. So you go there, and I'll show you at the end how to do this. So now I'm searching not only sociology, but other subjects as well. And again, I learned from my past search strategy to put in words. I put in my other concept. I put in my third concept. And I says, let's look for words and titles for these concepts. Again, I'm looking for sociology. And I looked for the qualitative in the abstract. It allowed me to do that for you. I looked at peer-reviewed journals. And peer-reviewed scholarly articles in peer-reviewed journals. It actually worked quite well. I found 191 records. Is that too many or too few? Well, only you can tell. You don't want to waste your time, but you don't want to miss things of peripheral interest. And so I went through this and clicked on peer-reviewed scholarly journals and sorted them by reverse chronology of order, but these are sorted by relevance in the database. And I picked a number of, I found maybe 20 articles. Some I saw before, but some were brand new I hadn't searched before. Here's an example for a citation in ProQuest Sociology. The journal, the author, the abstract. Neat thing about some databases, they give you words or concepts of subjects that they've put to these articles, or keywords that the author has put together. It may help expand or limit your search strategy. Or you may go, body ideals, never thought of that. How is that going to work? And modify your research strategy. And every database allows you to self-cite. Here's the article. You can read it, download it. Yes, you do have to read the articles. So here we go. We're going to use Omni. We've done Web of Science, and we've done ProQuest Sociology, and added different databases, but Omni is probably the biggest database of all these. Again, look at your concepts, how you search. You may have to make adjustments, but the same methodology. Here's Omni. Again, I look for words and titles of articles. And that's their way of saying journal articles. I limit it to language, English. Almost everything we have is in English, but it limits it there. And I put words and titles, and titles, and titles. I'm looking for specific papers since it's such a large database. The one thing I should note for you in Omni, it's different than any other databases. When you OR concepts together, synonyms, you have to put things in capitals, capital OR, or it screws up the logic. Omni, I need to show you OR, capital. It allows truncation, it allows phrase searching. So you can look for stereotypical, whatever, behaviors as two words that appear beside each other. All other databases uses that Google logic as well. I still got thousands of articles, so I looked and said, for now, I can put in other terms, how many of these articles have the word qualitative somewhere in the citation or the abstract? Sort filters on Omni are kind of neat. You can sort by relevance or by date. Available online, they're almost always available in digital format. I searched by date, that was refined here as well, but I searched for peer-reviewed journals. And this is where you learn whether the database is good or not good, because sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't work well. On Omni, it works quite well. If you're going to use Omni, and you're going to be a pro, go to our tutorial, which is listed here, a live link, and go to our YouTube video. It's on this particular page. It'll help you to be better informed of how Omni works, how it works for finding books and for articles, and just to be a better researcher as well. So I challenge you to do that today. So here's an entry in Omni for an article I found. Tells you a bit about it, tells you where it's from. You can click on the live link to get the full text. You can self-cite it. You can send it to a citation management system. But here's the article. Yes, again, you have to read the articles. You may even get this far and say, no, this doesn't match, or I'm going to change my subject. My sense is for this assignment, you're going to be over rather than underwhelmed, meaning you'll have more articles and you'll have to narrow those down as well. Zotero. Every time I saw an article in any database, I sent it over to my citation management system, which sits on my workstation here. I built a file here called Sociology 2P11, and it automatically put this information there for me. I didn't cut, paste, I didn't add it, I didn't create my own bibliography. And for every article that I cited, it gives you the title, author. It sends this information to this particular Zotero account. The beauty about it is you can add notes, you can cut and paste entries, you can link these to the PDFs, so there's always a folder and an entry for everything that you saw, whether you use it or not. And though you may have 100 entries in here, you may only use 10 or 20 for your final list of cited references. The neat thing about this is this really floors people who haven't seen it before, is that you can now use this tool to create your bibliography. So I can use ASA citation format, and it creates my bibliography automatically. This is truly amazing. Contact me if you want to know more about citation management systems and if Zotero may work for you. So here, we're almost at the end here. Review of search and tips. Use the Library Sociology Research Guide. It's a jumping point, just like these slides are, to explore other options and tools and skills that you need to do. Define, but also refine your group of keywords and how you group them together using ors and ands. Search using a variety of keywords and phrases. Refine your searches to search in formatted areas like titles and abstracts and topics. Here's the databases that I've suggested, but you can find your own. Always do these searches as a starting point. And you actually go back and refine your searches. Limit your searches by date and by relevancy to find out how they sense these things are new or relevant to you and others. Be sure you use the peer-reviewed scholarly filter. It tends to work very well on all databases that are listed here. Browse. Research methodology. Serendipity is encouraged because sometimes you find an article here and you go through the cited references or the reference that has cited this article and you go, that's interesting, that's interesting. You'll probably find more than less. But browse. It helps you to find things that you may never find any other way. The SACL Style Guide is on the Sociology Research Guide. There's lots of help to do that. Use Zotero and other citation software resources if you think you need help. If you become an honors student or do a capstone project or a major paper or certainly a thesis or dissertation, you will be forced to use a citation management system just for time reasons alone. But ask for help if you need help. So thanks for this opportunity and all the best with this particular assignment. Right now, I'm going to do 3 quick searches just to show you how these things work. So bear with me as I change systems. So here's my home page and here's our Brock home page. So we remember research guides. And we'll go down to sociology, for those who have never used this before. All these tabs and resources include clickable links as well. We'll go to journal articles, that's where we need to do. Let's use ProQuest Sociology Collection. It asks you and authenticates you to move through the system through the Brock proxy so that you can have access to all the resources for free. Here's the change databases function I told you about. And you can go through and you can select things that are of interest. I suggested Canadian business and current affairs includes some Canadian journals that aren't anywhere else. Linguistics, no. Nursing, no. It'd be nice if everything was here, but yet click on the politics collection here. And then at the very end, or at the bottom of the top, click on Use Selected Resources. So when you begin your search and you put in your terms, let's use racism, racist. Let's look for words in document titles and police or policing or other words you want to use. Let's look at that for anywhere. Do your search. And you're not only searching through the sociology collection, but you're searching through everything else. Use your relevance, use your peer-reviewed filter, and use your language filter as well. And then review the results and put them into a file for you as well. Okay? So here we go. So that's ProQuest Sociology, that trick. Web of Science is kind of neat. So here's the Web of Science database. It's really important just because of the type of materials that is in it. It's loading, loading, loading. It has a number of databases you can search. You can search all the databases, including Medline, which is the medical sciences database, or if you want, by clicking on that, you can search the core collection, meaning core journals. Here's a search that was, I guess, left. Wow, isn't that interesting? So there aren't too many other filters other than when you do your search. Let's see your search. It tells you how many results you get, how many times it's cited, 96, and you can filter by these results, search within articles. Remember I said the 91 articles, and then refine. And you can look at them and click them off, put them into your marked list, and at the very end just send your marked list. But if you find articles that says 69, you can cite them by usage count. Which are the most used ones? Times cited. Which ones have been most cited? Oh, let's go the other way. Or by date. Which are the most current ones? And so you can go through it. It remembers these as you click them off and use them as well. But remember again, you can look at articles by usage and by other sorts of tools. But if you pull up an article, you can click on the list of cited references, or the times each article has been cited since it was published. So that's Web of Science as well. The last database is Omni. You've probably used it for many times. Let's use the advanced search filter. Let's look for racism or racist, any words. But again, if I'm going to type or, it has to be in caps. Racism or discriminate. And again, highlight that. Remember the or has to be in capital. I'm not looking for books, I'm looking for articles, so papers. Almost everything is in English, but hey, why don't we select it while we're here as well? And you can add a term. Racism, police, OR. See, I knew I wasn't here. Or policing. And you can add a new line. You could add another term like qualitative. There's other tools that you can use, but you click on searching. So just looking for articles with these words in certain fields. 39,000. You can say, let's look for words in title for police or policing. Any field. Let's look at, not titles, but maybe a subject. Let's look for titles since we know there's so many. It limits results to 31, but again, we want peer-reviewed journals. So the 31, 27 are peer-reviewed. They're almost all available. I can limit by date or by subject or by language, but I can search for them by relevance, or I can limit them from newest to oldest. Browse them and look at them individually, or in this database, you tab it and put it into your signed-in account, and then you can email, download, or send them to a citation management system. So here we go. Keep watching to see what's new in the Brock Library. We can help, ask, and good luck with this particular assignment. Thanks, and all the best.